First contact and miscalculation. The vast expanse of space had long been the playground of the Galactic Confederation, a coalition of advanced alien species that prided themselves on their technological prowess and cultural superiority. For millennia, they had explored the cosmos, cataloging countless worlds and occasionally uplifting primitive species they deemed worthy of joining their ranks. It was a system that had served them well, reinforcing their belief in their own greatness and the inferiority of younger civilizations. Admiral Zexalia, a veteran of numerous first contact missions, stood on the bridge of the Confederation flagship Celestial Arbiter. His iridescent scales shimmered under the soft light of the holographic displays surrounding him. With 4 arms crossed over his chest, he gazed at the image of a blue-green planet slowly rotating before him. Earth, he mused, his voice a melodious hum. How quaint. His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Vril, bobbed her eye stalks in agreement. Indeed, Admiral. Our long-range scans indicate a civilization barely capable of leaving their own atmosphere. Primitive combustion engines, laughably inefficient energy production, and communications technology that wouldn't even reach their nearest stellar neighbors. Zexalia's mandibles clicked in amusement, and yet they call themselves the dominant species of their world. How charming. He waved a hand, and the hologram zoomed in on the planet's surface, showing sprawling cities, vast networks of roads, and the occasional launch pad. It seems they're on the cusp of true spacefaring capability. Perhaps in a few more centuries, they might actually achieve something noteworthy. The bridge crew chuckled, their various appendages and sensory organs conveying a shared sense of superiority. They had seen countless worlds like this one, teeming with life, but lacking the spark of true intelligence that the Confederation valued. "Shall we proceed with standard protocol, Admiral?" Vril inquired, her tentacles dancing over a control panel. "We could begin the uplift process immediately. I'm sure the humans would be grateful for our intervention." Zexalia considered for a moment, his compound eyes flickering with calculations. "No," he said finally, surprising his crew. "I believe this calls for a more direct approach. These humans seem to have a certain spark, a potential that might be squandered if we coddle them too much." He turned to address the entire bridge, his voice resonating with authority. "Prepare the fleet for a show of force. We'll give these humans a taste of true power, shake them out of their complacency. Perhaps then they'll be ready to join the galactic community properly." As the crew scrambled to carry out his orders, Zexalia couldn't help but feel a twinge of excitement. It had been too long since they'd encountered a species that offered even a hint of challenge. Even if the humans proved to be as primitive as they appeared, at least it would break the monotony of their usual missions. Little did the Confederation know that their arrogance was about to be their undoing. The Confederation fleet emerged from hyperspace in a dazzling display of light and energy, their sleek ships arranged in a perfect formation that spoke of centuries of military precision. As they approached Earth's orbit, Admiral Zexalia expected to see panic, confusion, or perhaps even primitive attempts at communication from the planet below. Instead, they were met with an eerie silence. "Sub-Commander Vril, report," Zexalia ordered, his antennae twitching with unease. Vril's eye stalks swiveled as she analyzed the incoming data. "Admiral, I'm detecting no changes in the planet's energy output or communications. It's as if they haven't even noticed our arrival." Zexalia's mandibles clicked in irritation. "Impossible. Our sensors must be malfunctioning. No species could be this oblivious to a fleet of our size." As if in response to his words, a small object detached itself from one of Earth's orbital stations, accelerating towards the Confederation fleet at an impossible speed. "Incoming projectile," Vril shouted, her tentacles a blur of motion as she attempted to track its trajectory. Zexalia's compound eyes widened in disbelief. Evasive maneuvers, shields to maximum. But it was too late. The object, no larger than a small shuttle, darted between the Confederation ships with a grace that defied their understanding of physics. As it passed, ship after ship went dark, their systems shutting down as if struck by some invisible force. On the bridge of the Celestial Arbiter, chaos erupted. Alarms blared as systems failed, and the once proud flagship began to drift helplessly in space. What in the name of the cosmic founders is happening? Zexalia demanded, his usual composure shattered. Before anyone could respond, the main view screen flickered to life, revealing a face that would haunt the Confederation for generations to come. It was unmistakably human, but with an air of calm authority that sent chills down Zexalia's exoskeleton. "Greetings, visitors," the human said, her voice clear and confident. "I am Admiral Elena Chen of the Earth Defense Force. We appreciate your interest in our planet, but I'm afraid we must decline your offer of uplift at this time." Zexalia stared in stunned silence, his mind struggling to process the turn of events. Admiral Chen continued, a hint of amusement in her eyes. "You see, we've been aware of the Galactic Confederation for quite some time. We simply chose to keep a low profile while we prepared for this inevitable encounter." As she spoke, the space around Earth seemed to shimmer, revealing a vast network of defense platforms and ships that had been hidden by technology far beyond anything the Confederation possessed. "Now," Chen said, her tone shifting to one of steel, "we have a choice to make. We can either engage in meaningful dialogue as equals, or we can demonstrate why it's unwise to underestimate humanity. The decision is yours, Admiral Zexalia. Choose wisely." As the transmission ended, Zexalia found himself facing a truth that shook the very foundations of his beliefs. Humanity wasn't just ready for the galactic stage. They had been waiting in the wings all along, preparing for this moment. The age of Confederation superiority was over. A new era had begun, and humanity was holding the door open, inviting the galaxy to step through, on their terms, the battle for Earth. Admiral Zexalia's compound eyes flickered rapidly, processing the monumental shift in the balance of power that had occurred in mere moments. The bridge of the Celestial Arbiter was eerily quiet, save for the occasional beep of a system attempting to reboot. "Sub-Commander Vril," Zexalia said, his voice uncharacteristically subdued. "Status report." Vril's eye stalks drooped as she delivered the news. "Admiral, 80% of our fleet is completely disabled. The remaining ships are operating at minimal capacity. Our long-range communications are offline, and we've lost all weapons systems." Zexalia's mandibles clicked in frustration. "And the humans?" "They've made no further moves, sir. They appear to be waiting." As if on cue, the main view screen flickered to life once more, revealing Admiral Elena Chen. This time, she was joined by a diverse group of humans, each exuding an air of calm confidence that was utterly alien to the Confederation's experience. "Admiral Zexalia," Chen began, her tone measured but firm, "allow me to introduce you to the Earth Defense Council. We represent the combined leadership of humanity's military, scientific, and diplomatic corps." She gestured to a stern-looking man with graying hair. "General Marcus Ironside, head of our Global Military Command." The general nodded curtly, his eyes never leaving Zexalia. Next, Chen indicated a woman with striking green eyes and an aura of intense intelligence. "Dr. Amelia Xiao, our Chief of Advanced Technologies." Dr. Xiao offered a small smile, but her gaze was analytical, as if dissecting the alien visitors with her mind. And finally, Chen continued, "Ambassador Zara Okoro, our senior diplomat and cultural liaison." A tall, elegant woman with deep brown skin inclined her head gracefully, her expression a perfect mask of diplomatic neutrality. Zexalia found himself at a loss for words, a sensation entirely new to the veteran admiral. It was Ambassador Okoro who broke the silence. "We understand this situation must be disorienting for you, Admiral," she said, her voice rich and soothing. "Rest assured, we have no desire for conflict. Our actions were purely defensive, a necessary precaution given the Confederation's history of uplifting species without their consent. Dr. Xiao leaned forward, her eyes gleaming with barely contained excitement. The device that disabled your fleet is just one of many technologies we developed in preparation for this day. We call it the Harmony Disruptor, a non-lethal method of neutralizing potential threats. General Ironside's voice was gruff, but not unkind as he added, "You should know that we have far more formidable weapons at our disposal. We chose not to use them out of a desire for peaceful first contact." Admiral Chen took control of the conversation once more. "The choice before you is simple, Admiral Zexalia. You can accept that humanity is not the primitive species you assumed us to be, and we can begin a dialogue as equals. Or," she let the unspoken threat hang in the air, allowing Zexalia's imagination to fill in the blanks. For the first time in his long career, Zexalia felt the weight of true humility. He straightened his posture, all four arms held open in a gesture of conciliation. "Admiral Chen, members of the Earth Defense Council, on behalf of the Galactic Confederation, I formally request a cessation of hostilities and the opening of diplomatic channels." A collective sigh of relief seemed to pass through both the human and alien crews. Ambassador Okoro's smile widened fractionally. "A wise decision, Admiral. We'll begin by restoring power to your ships, minus weapons capabilities, of course. Then we can discuss the terms of our future relationship." As the humans made good on their word, Zexalia turned to his crew. "It seems we have much to learn about our new partners," he said, the word feeling strange on his tongue. Over the next several hours, as systems slowly came back online, the true extent of humanity's capabilities began to reveal itself. Dr. Xiao led a team of human engineers in a technological exchange that left the Confederation scientists in awe. Faster-than-light drives that made the Confederation's hyperspace engines look primitive, energy production methods that bordered on the miraculous, and artificial intelligence systems that seemed almost sentient. But it was the revelation of humanity's presence beyond Earth that truly shook the Confederation to its core. As General Ironside explained, with a hint of pride in his voice, humans had established colonies and outposts throughout their solar system, and even in nearby star systems, all hidden from the Confederation's prying eyes. "We've been watching you for decades," Ironside said, his holographic image now projected onto the Celestial Arbiter's bridge. "Every time you came close to discovering one of our outposts, we simply nudged your attention elsewhere." Dr. Xiao chimed in, her excitement palpable even through the holographic interface. "Our stealth technology is based on principles of quantum manipulation that your scientists are only beginning to theorize about. We can effectively tune our presence out of your perception." Ambassador Okoro, ever the voice of diplomacy, added, "We hope you understand why we felt the need for such precautions. Your Confederation's history of intervention in developing civilizations is well documented. We chose to reveal ourselves now because we believe the time is right for humanity to take its place on the galactic stage, on our own terms." As the implications of humanity's true nature sank in, a new emotion began to stir within Zexalia and his crew: curiosity. The humans were not just technologically advanced, they possessed a unique perspective that challenged everything the Confederation thought they knew about the universe. But why? Zexalia found himself asking. Why reveal yourselves now? Why not continue to hide and develop in secret? Admiral Chen's expression softened slightly. Because isolation isn't the answer, Admiral. We've learned much by observing the Confederation and other galactic civilizations. We've seen your triumphs and your mistakes. Now, we believe we have something valuable to offer: a fresh perspective, new technologies, and a different approach to interstellar relations. She paused, her gaze intense. But make no mistake, we will not be subjugated or treated as inferior. We come to the galactic community as equals, ready to share our knowledge and learn from others in turn. As the conversation continued, spanning topics from philosophy to physics, from art to astropolitics, Zexalia found his initial fear and humiliation giving way to a grudging respect. These humans were unlike any species the Confederation had encountered before. They were adaptable, innovative, and possessed a unique blend of caution and daring that had allowed them to prepare for this moment in secret. The battle for Earth, it seemed, had been won long before the Confederation fleet arrived. But the true victory, Zexalia realized, might be in the new era of cooperation and mutual understanding that was now dawning. As the first cycle of negotiations drew to a close, Admiral Chen extended an invitation that would have been unthinkable mere hours ago. Admiral Zexalia, would you and your senior staff care to join us on Earth? We believe it's time for you to see firsthand what humanity is truly capable of. It's time for you to see firsthand what humanity is truly capable of. Zexalia glanced at his crew, seeing his own mixture of trepidation and excitement mirrored in their alien features. With a gesture that conveyed both resignation and anticipation, he accepted. As preparations began for this unprecedented diplomatic mission, Zexalia couldn't help but wonder. If this was humanity's idea of a warm welcome, what other surprises did they have in store for the galaxy? Humanity's ascension. The descent to Earth was a moment of profound revelation for Admiral Zexalia and his senior staff. As their shuttle, escorted by sleek human vessels that seemed to dance through the atmosphere, pierced the cloud layer, the true face of humanity's homeworld revealed itself. Sprawling megacities stretched across continents, their towering spires reaching for the heavens. But unlike the sterile uniformity often seen in advanced civilizations, Earth's cities pulsed with life and diversity. Green spaces and waterways wove through the urban landscapes, creating a harmonious blend of technology and nature. Impressive, isn't it? Admiral Chen's voice came through the comm system, a hint of pride evident in her tone. We've learned to balance progress with preservation. Every city you see is entirely self-sustainable and carbon negative. Zexalia's mandibles clicked in astonishment, but our scans, they showed primitive energy production, polluted atmospheres. Dr. Xiao's chuckle cut through the air. What you saw was a carefully constructed illusion, Admiral. We've been scrubbing our atmospheric signature and masking our energy outputs for decades. It's amazing what you can hide when you put your mind to it. As the shuttle touched down in a vast plaza at the heart of what was once known as New York City, Zexalia and his team found themselves at the center of a welcoming committee that defied description. Humans of every color, size, and shape stood alongside robotic assistants and what appeared to be sentient holograms. The diversity was staggering, a far cry from the homogeneous societies often seen in long-established galactic civilizations. Ambassador Okoro stepped forward, her smile warm and genuine. Welcome to Earth, Admiral Zexalia. We hope this visit will be the first of many cultural exchanges between our peoples. What followed was a whirlwind tour that shattered every preconception the Confederation held about humanity. They visited research facilities where scientists were unraveling the mysteries of dark matter and harnessing zero-point energy. They saw shipyards where vessels were grown rather than built, using bioengineered materials that were stronger than any alloy the Confederation had ever encountered. But it was in the quieter moments that the true strength of humanity revealed itself. In a small park, Zexalia watched children of different ethnicities playing together, their laughter a universal language. In a bustling market, he saw foods and goods from 100 worlds being traded freely, a testament to humanity's expansive, hidden colonization efforts. How? Zexalia found himself asking as they observed a group of students engaged in what appeared to be a telekinesis training session. How did you achieve all of this in secret? General Ironside, who had been mostly silent during the tour, spoke up. Necessity, Admiral, and a healthy dose of paranoia. His gruff exterior softened slightly as he continued. Early in our development, we detected transmissions from the Confederation. We learned of your practices, your tendency to guide younger races. We decided then that we would meet the galaxy on our own terms or not at all. Dr. Xiao nodded enthusiastically. It became a unified goal for all of humanity. Every scientific breakthrough, every technological advance was made with two purposes: to better our own condition and to prepare for this very moment. Ambassador Okoro added, her voice soft but firm, "We also learned from your mistakes, Admiral. We saw how the Confederation's interference, however well-intentioned, often stunted the natural development of other species. We chose a different path." As the day wore on, the initial awe and trepidation felt by Zexalia and his team began to shift into something else. Respect, tinged with a hint of excitement. Here was a species that had not only matched, but in many ways surpassed the Confederation's achievements, all while maintaining a vibrant, diverse culture. The tour culminated in a grand hall where representatives from every human world and colony had gathered. As Zexalia looked out over the sea of faces, human, robotic, and even some species he didn't recognize, he realized that humanity had already created its own galactic community. Admiral Chen stepped up to a podium, her presence commanding the attention of all present. Today marks a new chapter not just for humanity, but for all sentient life in our galaxy. We step out of the shadows not to conquer or to dominate, but to engage, to learn, and to grow. She turned to Zexalia, extending a hand in the human gesture of friendship. "Admiral, we invite the Galactic Confederation to join us in this new era. Together, we can explore the universe in ways neither of us could achieve alone." Zexalia felt the weight of history on his shoulders as he reached out, his alien hand clasping Chen's human one. The hall erupted in applause, a cacophony of sounds from 100 different species united in hope for the future. In the days and weeks that followed, the galaxy experienced a transformation unlike any in recorded history. News of humanity's true nature spread like wildfire through Confederation space and beyond. Reactions ranged from fear to excitement, from disbelief to eager anticipation. Humanity, for its part, embarked on a campaign of open sharing and collaboration. They offered cures for diseases that had plagued other species for millennia, introduced new methods of faster-than-light travel that shrank the vast distances between stars, and proposed radical new forms of governance that promised to address the inequalities that had long simmered in Confederation society. But perhaps the most profound impact came in the realm of ideas. Humanity's unique blend of caution and daring, of unity and diversity, challenged the long-held beliefs of even the oldest galactic civilizations. Philosophy, art, and science experienced a renaissance as human thought cross-pollinated with alien concepts. Not all was smooth sailing, of course. Some members of the Confederation resisted the changes, clinging to their old notions of superiority. Fringe groups arose, claiming that humanity's rapid ascension must be the result of some sinister hidden force. But these voices were increasingly drowned out by the chorus of those eager to embrace the new galactic paradigm. 5 years after that fateful first contact, Admiral Zexalia found himself once again orbiting Earth. But this time, he was aboard a ship of human design, co-commanding a joint Human Confederation expedition to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. As he gazed out at the blue-green planet below, now openly broadcasting its true nature to the cosmos, Zexalia reflected on the journey that had brought them all to this point. Humanity had not just joined the galactic community, they had transformed it, challenging everyone to be better, to reach higher, to dream bigger. The age of hiding was over. The age of true cooperation had begun, and as the joint expedition prepared to jump to speeds once thought impossible, Zexalia couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. What other wonders awaited them in the vast, unexplored reaches of space? As if reading his thoughts, his human co-commander, a descendant of Admiral Chen, spoke up. "Ready to make history, Admiral Zexalia?" His mandibles clicking in what had become his version of a smile, Zexalia responded, "With humanity at our side, always." The ship's engines hummed to life, and in a flash of light that seemed to bend the very fabric of space-time, they were gone, racing towards a future brighter and more exciting than any could have imagined. In that moment, as human and alien worked side by side, the true promise of galactic civilization was finally realized. The stars, once thought to be the limit, were now just the beginning.